I don't usually get involved with poems and all that stuff. I had no clue about it.
When because you're a traveller, sometimes you think like, oh, no, we can't do that, we can't do this.
I would hope that this would be a vehicle for change and that people see the reality of the homelessness in the traveller community.
I'm living in homeless accommodation now in the last nearly year. I was in 2 places. Before this I was in my father and mother's place when I got married, but that became too crowded.
It's hard going to see my children every week, like, and asking me, Daddy, when are you getting a place? And having the light to them every time.
But then a few months later I moved into a family hub, and that's the Sunnybank Hotel in Glass 7, so I'm there now for the last 6 months.
After about a year, my wife got pregnant and they put us into a family hub. I was embarrassed at first, people saying, oh, well, he's going to the homeless and everything like that.
It's very, very stressful, yes, because I used to live in the traveller site and I got evicted for I was living illegally.
I'm now actually at the minute looking into HAP, but I'm not going to go into HAP now. I'm going to stick it out, because if I go into HAP now, it's a year down the line, I could be back into square one again and starting it off, so it's a waste of 2 years.
So we didn't really tell people at the start what we were doing. We just said we were talking about travellers and this and that.
They hadn't been involved in a creative writing or a creative group before, so coming into it at the beginning, I suppose the men didn't really know what was expected.
Didn't know whether this is a load of bollocks or is this going to really help me, like.
But as the weeks kind of went on, we said, yeah, we're doing this poem and it's going to be on the website in a few weeks now, so have a look at it.
I was ashamed, and I was afraid to talk because I didn't know if it was going to be right or wrong.
And when I got talking to the lads and being able to talk about stuff and that, just 1 or 2 things, like, do you know what I mean, that brought up old things in my head, that opened old gates that I didn't want to open, do you know what I mean?
But when the lads start talking and when you hear different experiences, then you get confident in yourself and then you speak it.
So my point of view could be different to another traveller's point of view, but we're still all the one. We still kind of know where each other's coming from.
Gives me that little bit of belief inside me, do you know what I mean? Things are going to be different for me and better for me, like, do you know what I mean? And
the highlight of the programme is getting out and meeting people like Jeff that I never met before and learning a lot from his way of doing.
The men are very passionate about their own lives and they've been very honest in the workshops.
Housing is a big thing for me in my life right now, do you know what I mean? That's the one thing that keeps howling me back.
So for travellers, there'll be an awful lot of discrimination and racism for them to access houses from landlords and residents.
When they find out you're a traveller, straight away they turn around and say to you that there and then that there's another viewing and someone's at to get in the house already, so they don't even let you inside the front door of the house.
And when I try to turn around and say I'm from the travelling community, it's like I'm put back onto the next line, put onto the next line.
For us, it's important that we create the conditions for traveller men to speak up, but also it's important for them to be heard by the government.
Every year the government gives thousands upon thousands to travellers, to traveller accommodation, but every single year that money by the council is always sent back into the government, and they won't build houses for travellers or proper facilities or proper areas.
Well, when I started writing first, I was only writing small bits, and I was ashamed of me writing. And thanks to Jeff and things like that there, do you know what I mean? He told me if you can't spell it right, he'll make it out. Do you know what I mean? And that made me feel good in myself, do you know what I mean? Well, if I mess up here, he understands, like.
I started Maynooth University College last year, and it's a return to learning programme.
I really do look forward to doing it each week, and I hope a lot more travellers take up on it. It's actually a very good thing to getting out and learn a lot about reading or writing.
The last week and the week before, I was able to fly writing, do you know what I mean? I didn't care whether I messed up or was scribbled or that.
But since I started the college as well, Maynooth University, and I'm in a year now at the minute, and I have another 3 years to go, and I will be sticking it out.
People have a perception out there that traveller men won't speak about being in a homeless accommodation.
And they're brave enough to sit in a room and discuss the challenges and to document the challenges that they've had.
But what we done, we created the conditions, and these traveller men did talk and they spoke up about the conditions they're living in.